1, 2. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fine episode of The Kickout, the final word in professional wrestling. I am the Wizard CZ, one half of the 4 frequency sake tag team champions of the world. Before I bring in my partner, I got to mention, right above my shoulder here, our QR code for the 4 frequency sake Toys for Tots Fantasy Football League, the Toys for Tots Bowl. Sign up. We have our own league. We're working on our second league now. So we've got one full, a few away from another one here. So I'm excited. We're gonna have a lot of fun with our fans and friends. And of course, that being said, I say I couldn't do this without my tag team partner, Mr. Never Wrong, Nick Bull. Nick, how you feeling today, my friend?
I'm feeling great, CZ. I am the proverbial turd in your pocket, so you can say we.
Well, I wouldn't call you a turd by any means.
I'm doing great. Not gonna lie, at our age, or at least at my age, CZ, took me a couple days to recover from WrestleMess this past weekend. I guess growing up, we're not accustomed to getting that much wrestling in one sitting. But when you want to think about it, look at our situation this past weekend. I'm sure, just like many others, we were watching wrestling for like 8 or 9 straight hours, right?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, essentially 6 hours all in, and then you want to talk 2 hours of Saturday night's main event, and if you want to talk the Evolution, you want to talk also Great American Bash, long weekend. It took a while to recover, but that's not complaining. I mean, we're just older now, and wow, I don't know if I could have handled this much wrestling when I was younger at one time. Like, could you imagine being 18, 19, 20, 25 years old, 18 to 25, and watching that much wrestling? I couldn't fathom that. You couldn't fathom that at that time. You know what I mean? So
no.
Times and technology, they are changing. But a big show this past weekend, I think, for a lot of people. But CZ, one particular thing has got you interested. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, we talked at length about all the shows of this weekend, what happened, what didn't happen. I kind of want to touch on where we think that AEW is going to go from here, because a lot of things came to a close at All In this past weekend. The end of Jon Moxley's title reign, MJF with the ability to cash in, the return of Cope. We talked about all of that, but where do we go from here?
It's a great question, and I am very interested as much as you are, because we're airing right now on Wednesday before Dynamite, so a lot of stuff I think is going to be answered or started to. This is, I kind of looked at All In like their AEW's WrestleMania. Despite the length, I thought it was an excellent show. I may not have agreed with a couple of the booking decisions of the matches, but that's neither here nor there. That's what they presented. This is an exciting time, I think, for AEW. You mentioned the Reign of Terror. This Reign of Terror we've known from Jon Moxley and the Death Riders running roughshod appears to be over for now. But this is a very exciting time for AEW. I'm kind of looking at the Dynamite that airs tonight as maybe like the Raw after WrestleMania. And I'm not saying it's going to be the best Dynamite of the year, but after what happened on Saturday, it was Saturday now, looking back on a few days ago, what happened on Saturday with All In, you've got like this fresh breath, this revitalization of AEW. They're taking several steps in the right direction. Now let's see how they follow through.
Yes.
But it's an exciting time if you're an AEW fan, or if you're just a fan of all wrestling or wrestling in general. Exciting time, and definitely very interested to see how it goes now with a new champion, the dynamics, and what the new storylines are going to be. A lot of things going on. Good for All Elite Wrestling right now.
And I mean, you got to wonder now, coming out of All In, I would have thought that Mercedes Moné would have won the big title, added to her repertoire of belts, so we could build this thing with Athena. And I think that's eventually where the road is going to lead with Athena and Monet, because they have some animosity with each other. But kudos to her for winning the contract on the women's side. I think she should have been in this main roster picture on the main event for a long time. But how long has she held the Ring of Honor Women's title now? 2 years? 3?
Dude, it is. I can look here. I don't know how long her reign is. It's forever. They call her the forever champ. She's been champ for I think it's like over 900 and some days. We'll find it here at some point. Anyways, my question about this is, if AEW thought so highly of Athena, which it appears they do, right, with her winning this women's gauntlet, why hasn't she been up sooner?
No, I agree.
I mean, really, why hasn't she been up sooner? Because why is it? I mean, she's proven that she can wrestle for the other company, hold titles in the other company, held titles here, held titles in NXT when she was with the other company on the developmental side of things. Why hasn't she been called up sooner? What's going on there?
Because it's a great question, and she's flirted with the main roster for a while.
Well, I don't feel like ROH is that big of an importance to be addressed for her to be a need there.
Right.
If you know what I'm saying, if you know what I mean, like I think she's a bigger need on the AEW roster than she is the Ring of Honor roster. So I don't know if there's some backstage politicking going on, somebody pissed off the wrong person at some time. I don't know, but it leads me to ask, it leads me to wonder, it leads me to want to believe, why haven't they looked at her sooner as a viable option?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't have a good answer. Got to look at another big thing coming out of All In, and that's we'll talk tag teams a little bit before I get to where I think the tag team titles are going. Our good your favorite team out there, the EVPs, now former EVPs. So what does that mean now that the Bucks are no longer pulling the strings, at least on camera?
At least on camera. I doubt they're giving up the extra zeros on that paycheck. That's not going to be a stipulation for a pay-per-view, but probably storyline and on screen. You're probably going to see the Bucks try to tread water for a little bit, plot their next move. I don't know. It's probably going to happen here after we go off the air. Dynamite will air top of the hour, and we'll know more. But I really don't know what's next. You've got the Hurt Syndicate, who are over. You've got the Young Bucks. You've got FTR staking their claim at wanting to be in that title chase. Now you got this team Jet Speed that's turning heads and gaining a lot of interest with Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight. So you got the Outrunners. So starting to develop a pretty deep and pretty decent tag team field. Yes. I just hope they don't squander this opportunity, because there's been times in the AEW's past where they haven't had the best tag team field. But let's go out there and have some tag team matches, man. We got some good teams.
I would go out on a limb.
I don't know how you dethrone the Hurt Syndicate, man. They are so powerful. They're so over. Dude, it's Bobby Lashley. Like, Bobby Lashley's a big dude. And then you look at Shelton Benjamin, and he's not small. So they're a physically imposing team. I like to call them Doom 2.0, a big throwback to the WCW.
Oh, I like that.
Doom was masked, but they became unmasked. Of course, it was Ron Simmons and Hacksaw Butch Reed. But I like to think these guys are probably a little bit better wrestlers than Doom. But both physically impending forces, would love to have seen it.
you've got to think, despite them being on the 0 hour, which we talked about on Sunday, you've got to think that there's a build for FTR to square off against the Hurt Syndicate at some point here in the near future, wouldn't you?
At some point, but we were teased that it's going to be something down the road, maybe with Edge or Cope, and maybe Christian. So I think that's maybe the match they want to build towards. So maybe FTR, they're going to build their story, bitching and complaining that they're not in the title chase, but they're going to still, stoke that flame by being in a high-profile match with like Cope and Christian, I believe, down the road. So
I'm glad you mentioned Christian, because that's something else to look at. Where does Christian, how does he find himself after he lost his family?
It takes some time to find yourself. This could be months down the road. We don't know how long it's going to take. But, I think we're going to get the Edge and Christian reunion we all want. It's just in another company with different names,
right.
Essentially. So, wrestling fans will rejoice. It'll be fun. Edge and Christian against FTR has got my interest. So, for sure.
It's definitely going to be an interesting time. And right now, I would say that the tag division in AEW is better than the tag division on Monday Night Raw. I'm just going to throw that out there.
There's a tag division on Monday Night Raw?
Well, I mean, kind of.
Creed Brothers, New Day, Judgment Day.
And the Viking Bikers.
Viking Raiders Death Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but we were combining shows there when we counted the AEW teams.
Fair enough.
But
fair enough. They don't have as clear of a split as WWE does with their roster, though.
Right. Well, if you like the talk you hear here, this is our short form show, midweek show, The Kickout. Of course, we are known for, I hope, the Card Subject to Change podcast by the fan for the fan. Of course, The Kickout also. We're all brought to you by here, powered by Low Pies Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, and colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo. I want to get those guys out there and thanked. If you like what you hear here, tune into our long form show, which is Card Subject to Change. What is coming up, CZ, on our next episode?
Well, we announced it Sunday, thanks in part to our good friend, the one called Manders, wishing us a happy third anniversary or a third birthday. So coming up here on...
Thanks, Stryker.
Thank you, Stryker, for getting that footage for us. Appreciate it. Thursday, July 31st at Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill in Rock Island. We're having a bit of a party. We're going to do a live podcast. We're going to have some prizes to give away, some free swag as well. And rumor has it there may be a cake. And we all know what happens when you incorporate cake into a wrestling event.
Cake, weddings, contract signings. Yep. Tune in. You're not going to want to miss it.
Yeah, definitely. All of you are invited to come join us at Kavanaugh's. The fun starts at 6:30. The live broadcast starts at 7. It'll be a good time. I'm excited. I can't wait to celebrate with everybody. That's technically the day before our third birthday.
I'm just glad you invited me.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a party without you.
I know.
Somebody's got to go through the cake, right?
Somebody does.
And then, of course, Sunday we're back at our regular time. We were a little later because of Evolution this past Sunday, but I'm excited. We've got a prominent wrestler in the Midwest. He is the Death Dealer on episode 205, the Dealer of Death. Death Dealer will be joining. We'll talk all things wrestling. And, of course, that show's going to start off with Nick asking that very famous question he asks all first-time guests. Why pro wrestling?
That's right. I can't wait. I'm actually interested in getting Death Dealer in studio, picking his brain, of course, talking all things wrestling and where he's at and what he's doing in his career. So looking forward to that for sure.
It's going to be fun. We've got some exciting stuff coming up. And
it'll be fun. Tune into that.
On the horizon.
Tune into that on Sunday. We got fantasy football on the horizon. We got a birthday party on the horizon right there. Join us, man. Maybe we can get to 3 leagues. Who knows? Keep pushing.
Ooh.
Keep pushing that button. Like, follow, share, subscribe. Reach out to us on social media. We love to hear from you. We love to talk wrestling. That's why we're here. He is the Wizard CZ. I am never wrong, Nick Bull. This is the Kickout, the final word in professional wrestling.
This has been a For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network production. For more great content, subscribe to For Frequency's Sake on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.